So for this last month, I've been feeling really unmotivated. I've been feeling really lost. I felt really helpless. I just felt all over the place. I felt like I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like going through the motions of life and letting things happen to me instead of taking control and understanding that I'm the creator of my reality. It almost feels like if I don't pull myself out of it now, like I don't know when I'll get out of it, and I just know so many things in my life will go down if I don't pull myself out of it. And it's not just that fear of failure that makes me want to no longer be feeling this way, but also that I just don't want to anymore. Somewhere in this past week, something shifted in me, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know how, but in my last video, I described it as like switching timelines, and that is exactly how I feel. I started reading this manifestation book, and something just clicked. Something was just like, you can do it. Like, you got this. You can do it. Snap out of it. And I'm feeling a burst of motivation. I'm feeling a burst of faith. I'm feeling a burst of like, I can get this done. I can do this. And that is where this video leads me. So you might be a little confused if you're a longtime viewer, like where any of this is coming from. And I just want to make it very clear. I understand how confusing it could be, because when you see someone's outward appearance is looking good and they have their makeup and hair done and they wear cute outfits and they look happy and they're smiling and they hang out with their friends, like on the outside, everything can look fine, but on the inside and internally, that's where things can be going wrong, and where mentally you could just feel so stuck, and where in your heart you don't know what you're doing. And that's exactly how it's been for me this past month. And I don't know why I'm about to cry. I literally feel tears coming, and like, but this last month has just been hard. So I plan to take today to clean my apartment, to read my book, to relax, to do whatever I feel necessary to help myself come out of this, to raise my vibrations, to get some positive energy flowing. And I don't exactly know what that entails, but I'm just going to intuitively follow what I need to do and see where this takes me. I don't know why I'm about to cry. We're not gonna cry. All right, let's go into it. I don't even know where the rest of this video, where I want to take it, but yeah, let's go. Cheers. Let's go do our thing. Was the book that I was just talking about. So this is the book that I feel like really changed my perspective. It's very heavily circled around and talks about spirituality, manifestation, faith, like those type of topics. So if you're not into that, maybe I wouldn't recommend checking this out. And this book kind of changed my perspective, because I think a large part of where my sadness and worrisome feelings came from was because I had convinced myself, this is so sad, I had convinced myself that my dreams were too big and that the things that I wanted were unattainable. There's that quote that's like, if I told you my dreams, you'd be scared, or something like that. Like if I told you my dreams, you'd think I'm crazy, whatever. And I feel like whenever I used to hear that, I would be like, yo, okay, like whatever, like what the heck are your dreams? Like nothing's unattainable. To some degree, I do feel like if I sat here on camera, on YouTube, and told you every single thing that I wanted to do, all the places I wanted to go, the people I wanted to meet, the things I wanted to experience, the things I want to accomplish, like you probably would think I was crazy, and you probably would think I was aiming too high. But up until like a couple weeks ago, I did not believe that. I 100% believed that anything I wanted to do, it was going to be mine. And then somewhere like some click happened, and I felt like I had convinced myself that that wasn't the case and that I wasn't actually going to accomplish anything. And I think that really destroyed me. And you know, there's been people in my life who have told me like, oh, be realistic, oh, don't do that. I've been told those things and it never affected me. I never really gave a fuck. But the moment that I started saying it to myself was the moment that it completely felt real, and I just really felt defeated. And I felt like, what am I doing? What am I doing here in college? What am I doing with my major? What am I doing spending all my time on YouTube? Like, what am I doing? Reading this book just kind of turned it all around for me. There's a whole section on faith, and before we even talk about faith, faith and religion are very different. I'm not a religious person by any means, and I know sometimes it like shocks people, or they think it's like a huge deal, like you have to have religion, but I don't believe that you have to be religious. I believe that you should have faith though, and I have faith. I have faith that there is something higher than me. In my terms, I call it the universe, but to you that might be God, or to someone else they might call it the sky or the world. I don't know. People call it whatever they want to call it. To me, it's called the universe. So I have faith that there is a bigger thing above me that is watching over me and that I'm divinely protected from, and that the universe only has my best interest in mind, and that the universe is only going to show me things, only going to allow me to experience things, to feel things that I'm ready to experience and feel. But in this last month and in that little period where I really felt defeated, I had lost all of that. But reading this book, I feel like it really brought me back to where I used to be and how I used to feel, and I'm not even that far into it. And just in that little bit, just in like, I'm pretty sure I've been reading this last 3 nights in a row, just in those little 3 nights, I felt so different about everything. So I've about finished up cleaning, which makes me really happy, and it's crazy how much just having a clean space can like change the feelings and the attitude. Like, even though this still looks messy, you know, because it's still out, just knowing that it's not in the sink and knowing that I have a fresh load in here, and just knowing that like this isn't going to be an issue for at least another like week and a half makes me really happy. So one of the reasons why things were so like stressful and overwhelming was because of how much like fun was coming up, just that it was gonna like take me away from my normal routine. 2 weeks ago I was in Disney World, and I was in Disney from Thursday to Monday, which was fun, cool. I really felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulder, and then as soon as I got back, that is kind of when like, you know, it came crashing down. And then the following weekend that I got back, I had my internship, which I was working on a film set, and we were there all day. Like, sometimes call time would be like 8 a.m. and then we wouldn't leave till like 9, 10 o'clock. So that was a pretty intense weekend as well. And then now we're in this one. So I have this weekend, and then next weekend is actually Howard Homecoming, which I didn't mention that. If you don't know, I go to Howard University. It's at HBCU in Washington, D.C. I'm a junior. Homecoming is normally like a super big deal for the school, but I don't think we're doing as big of things since, you know, COVID and stuff. But if that isn't the case and it's gonna be like another crazy week, I think having today to myself and tomorrow to myself is gonna be so beneficial, and it'll actually like make what's coming super easy. But also looking at this, I don't have really any homework for this next week, which makes me really happy because I could just spend that week preparing and doing whatever I need to do, because then the following weekend I'm going to Rolling Loud, which if you don't know, which I'm sure everyone knows, but if you don't know, it's a music festival in New York. I'm actually from New York. I'm from Westchester. It's like the suburbs of New York, like right outside the city. And then I have one more week, and then it's Thanksgiving break. And then during Thanksgiving, we have some really fun things planned. I think last week when I was looking at my schedule, it was really stressing me out how much stuff I had to do, and even though it was fun stuff, I still had like no motivation to be prepared for it, or almost like wanting to do it. Like I was like, I'd rather just have nothing, like I'd rather just sit at home all day. But now looking at it, not that it's not overwhelming, because it still is. I want to make that very clear. It's not like I just woke up one day and every hard thing and busy schedule no longer seemed busy. Like, things still seem hard, things still seem busy, but it's not as much weighing on me as it had before. I feel like I have the confidence that it'll be fine and it'll be fun if anything, and there'll be a little bit of stress, but at the end of the day it'll be a fun time. So that is where the rest of like my month, or actually I guess year, wow, year, by the end of that little wrap up that I gave you, it will literally be 2022. That is insane. But yeah, that is where the rest of my year lies. I know in a lot of these videos, or whenever you're on Pinterest or anything and you look up like how to get out of a rut, like all of the #1 tips are like, go exercise, go work out, go do this. If you're like me and you don't really like to do that type of stuff, here's the alternative for it. I'm just gonna put on some of my favorite music, dance around a little bit. I feel like I've been listening to the same couple songs, so I definitely wanna expand my music palette again and kind of get back into some of the other things that I used to really enjoy. And actually in that book that I keep referring to, one of the points in the book says that one of the easiest, most natural ways to raise your vibration is literally just to move around and dance, because there's different like electrical currents and different energy sources like moving all throughout our body. So whenever you get up and move around, it like shifts it all and changes it, and moves it around. I don't know, there's literally a whole science behind it. But I've not just like had a little breakdance party and, you know, just like had a genuine good time in a very long time. Like, yes, I go out with my friends on the weekends and I dance at parties and I do the whole bit, but like to literally be in your apartment and just like enjoy yourself and enjoy your own company and listen to the music that you want to listen to, I feel like is so special. So let's do that for a little bit. Manifested, I finessed it, middle finger to my tongue and then I snap it. Take a little sip, take a little bite, in my way, and I jet, I like so see me 11, go with this song. Why you act like I'm not there? You don't care, I don't relate to you, no, that shit's embarrassing. Something so sweet. This too is something that I drastically noticed had changed over the last month. I literally ate the same meal every single day for like 2 weeks straight, and then I would switch it up. So in the beginning of September, I literally was only eating frozen chicken, frozen fries, and buffalo sauce. And then most recently, I've only been eating like grilled cheese. I went grocery shopping a couple days ago, and I have like a variety of different things, and I'm trying to implement more fruits and vegetables and just not so much frozen food. Even though tonight I'm gonna do frozen food because I don't feel like cooking. Tonight, I'm gonna try the cheese-filled fiocchetti with the pink sauce. It's from Trader Joe's. And then I'm also gonna cut up some chicken sausage, and then we're gonna put some red pepper flakes in it. Just like all my other meals, I saw this on TikTok, and apparently a bunch of people like it because I saw the TikTok 9 or 10 times from all different creators. It wasn't like I was just on one person's account, like hella people talk about this. So I'm going to attempt to make this meal. I think it'll taste good, but then we're just gonna have a chill rest of the night. Nights literally are my favorite part of the day. I say this all the time, but I always drink a nice cup of tea, take my makeup off, really wind down. I normally watch a movie or whatever show I'm watching at the time, but nonetheless, always keeping it cool and chill and having a really good time. Cup of tea here. I'm using a little Ray Dunn mug. It says do it for you. It's super cute, and the tea I'm drinking tonight is Well Rested from Trader Joe's. It's one of my favorites. I took my makeup off, I ate my dinner, and I've been relaxing for the last like hour or so, and I was gonna journal and I was gonna do a whole like reflection section of this video and just in general just like do some reflection, but I was like, I think that would be heavy. I think that would put a lot of thoughts into my head that I don't need to be feeling right now, and I think it's important that we all understand and realize like healing is not linear. Pulling yourself out of the deep is not linear. Like everyone's experience with it is going to be different, and everyone's ideas for what works and what doesn't work is going to be different. And at this point, as much as someone would tell me like, oh, you should write everything down, you should journal, you should set some intentions for the next day, blah, 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 blah. Like I just feel like that is going to make me feel heavy, and I think that that is not going to do me any good right now, because I do think I did a lot today, and I think off camera I did a lot of reflecting and thinking and telling myself, you know, like this is good, like this is good for you, let's clean, let's do this, let's do that. And it might have looked easy and it might have looked like there was no effort put into anything that I was doing, but mentally it was taking me a moment to like get myself off the couch and to do my laundry and to actually like start doing things. So I just want to make it clear, let's not romanticize the healing process or bringing yourself out of a rut. I also just want to make the point to say, no, this is not just going to be a one day, one weekend thing. Like obviously my weeks coming up, days, months, who even knows how long, is going to be me continually working and continually fighting off those negative thoughts and telling myself like it's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna continue reading my manifestation book and just trying to getting back into the rut of who I am and getting into the daily routines and finding things that make me happy again. So I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go on with the rest of my life. I mean, night. I'm gonna go on with the rest of my night and my life too at the same time. But yeah, that's the end of this, and I will see you in my next video. Let's hit me with another cheers. Let's have a little hug. I'll see you in my next one.